You've been lied to. Skill alone won't make you rich. The internet doesn't reward value, it rewards structure. If you don't learn how to turn your skill into sales, you'll die broke with talent. Download the content creation playbook now before your skills expire. The link is in the description below. Listen, a lot of you have value, as you've heard me say before. You have value in skill. And so you have to understand that if you have value and skill, it's buried within you or buried within your distractions. Get rid of your distractions so that you can see your value and see the skills that you have, right? So once you've done that, now it's time to weaponize your skills, right? So point one, why skill without systems is suffering, right? You see yourself here. You have all the talent in the world, right? But talent, so all of these things are your talents, whatever they are, right? You're going to search your soul and search yourself to find them. You have all these talents, but you can't monetize them without making them or putting them into a structure. You have to structurize yourself and your talents to then get an outcome that you're looking for. Right. So that really just alludes to the laziness. If you don't move, you are spiritually lazy. A lot of you have all this fucking talent, all of the ability to change people's lives, to increase people's income, to help them in ways that you don't even see as a value, but truly is a value. You hear it all the time. Do the thing that you can do if you weren't getting paid for it. And sometimes the thing that that you should be doing isn't something that you put value on because it's so easily done for you. Right? For me, communicating is one of my greatest skills. I know how to articulate my mind, my thoughts, break down complex points to get it across to a human being in simple terms. A skill that I've acquired over more than a decade, right? But it was always easy for me to speak because I didn't really give a fuck about your opinion. Very easy to me and is value to somebody else. But if I don't understand that that's a value of mine, I won't pick up a camera and speak. There are things in your life that you are doing day to day that come very, very fucking easy to you, but you don't place value on it because you think, because you do it so easily and it's a strength of yours, that it's a strength for everybody else. So who gives a fuck? Like, I don't care. It's not anything of value. It's of value, my boy. You're just distracted and you can't see that. That's a fucking skill, right? So see it here now. The next point is, the next takeaway is that the market pays for packaging. So you see all this fucking talent up here that you can have. If you don't structure it correctly, the market's not going to pay you. You're not going to see money. But if you package it correctly and put all the things together from the talents that you have and even approve upon those talents and then put it in a package that can be readily understood by everybody that you present it to, people are going to pay you for it. How can people pay you for a skill that you don't package? And people, a lot of you question, how do I present my skill? Well, the first thing you need to understand is that the way you present skill is by packaging it correctly, right? Everybody could be an Apple. Samsung has a great product. Hey, you could even call it a superior product to Apple. But what does Apple do? Their packaging in their ecosystem is superior. Therefore, the market pays you for that. And the same thing goes for your life. If you package your talents after they've been structured in a way that can be presented to somebody to see the gap in where they currently are to the value that you're going to give to close the gap, and you package it correctly, they're going to pay you handsomely for it. And the more demand you get for that skill, and listen, the world is fucking endless, bro. I want you to understand. There are 8+ billion people on the fucking planet. You don't think you can sell to them? And you don't think people are looking for the values that you have as strengths in your life? Of course they are. You just don't know how to fucking package it, let alone structure it correctly. So therefore, you're not being ignored. You're just unstructured, right? This structure that you're looking to have here, this very structure is what you're looking to have in your life. But you don't know how to fucking structure your own talents. Therefore, no one's going to see you. No one's going to want to pay you. No one's even going to know you exist. And so you're going to feel ignored. Because you have all this skill, you have all this talent, but you're not doing shit with it. Because you're unstructured and you like just the thought that you're good at certain things that many people aren't. But the second you put it all together in a structure is when you'll get paid. and you won't get ignored anymore. Ignored will not even exist. Like I tell you, once you become a man of substance and you're structured in everyday life, money can't ignore you. Women can't ignore you. Opportunities knock at your door non-stop because you structurize your life and your talents in a way in such that everything and everyone sees it. So point 2, if this is hitting, pause and get the playbook. The only reason you're not monetizing is because no one gave you a system. The link is in the description below. The masculine way to monetize. You have to structure your outputs. So if you're here and you're chaotic, right? In every day, everybody's chaotic to a degree until they understand a certain rhythm and a structure, laws of the realm like we speak about. Once you find that structure within yourself, you now can have structured outputs, right? And not creative bursts. Creative bursts are almost like motivation. They come and they go. They give you a little oomph to move in a certain direction. You move and then you give up because the creative burst goes away. Something may happen. You don't have any internal structure to understand when external things happen that you continue to move forward. Or even when the creative burst dies, you then give up because it is literally motivation for you. Right? And so then your brand is a system, not a vibe. You can't operate thinking that you're just going to have this fucking time building, just, ooh, yes, this is going to be cool, great, yeah. And then I'm going to get paid for it, you fucking idiot. How the hell could you get paid for some shit that's only a vibe for you? That's why I tell you, don't enter into the content space looking to get monetized, right? Or looking to monetize your values by only your entertainment, right? Doing the dumb shit that the algorithm goes viral, will make you go viral for. Literally, like you can't just cool it and think that just because the algorithm made you go viral that you should then attach your identity to that thing. And now everything about your brand is now this vibe or this idea that went viral that usually is based in no substance, not teaching anything of value to anybody, but it's just, it's viral. Now, of course, there's strategic ways and systemized, structured ways that you can go viral, right? But but the ones that are based in entertainment only, like that's your only value, bro. A lot of you can't even fucking entertain your mind to focus correctly, let alone thinking about entertaining the masses. Don't do dumb shit. Don't be a fucking jester. Is that how you want to walk around? Being seen as a jester in the world? Bro, we don't give a fuck about y'all. The world might make you feel like you have a spot, but you really don't. Because even like the greats of the greats, in terms of comedy, their gesturing is usually the truth. One of my favorite comedians is Dave Chappelle. Why? He literally is a truth speaker, but he uses the format of comedy. See, different fucking skill set there. It's not just about entertainment. He's aiming at something deeper. So don't just think entertainment is your way. It's a form of going viral that you can use, but there has to be a deeper lying rooted goal to why you do certain things, right? So change your idea to this, from this vibe culture, motivational, oh, I want to do content or I want to push my brand just because I have a feeling, into a structured system that can get you the outcomes that you're looking for. So your content equals distribution of value at scale. The better you get at understanding that you are a structure and you are built to distribute content to push a greater goal of value onto your target audience or the people that you're trying to captivate, is when you will scale largely. Why? Because if you only go off of this vibe, you're not going to, one, catch rhythm. Again, mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender are the laws of the realm. And the second you understand how to take an overarching goal for your life, throw it in the laws of the realm, and allow the rest to do the work as you move towards this goal, that is when you start to scale, because now you have to put systems in place to go big. You don't just get to the space of being great without following a certain rubric, right? And the rubric is pretty simple: consistency, rhythm, and vibration all require you to move in a general direction towards your goal, non-stop, right? And to do that requires systems. And third, from invisible to irresistible, your strengths need to be put into an offer first. Point blank, period. Your strengths need to be put into an offer. There's no way around it. The second you understand what your strengths are, the second you find your skill, the second you find your value, put it into an offer which requires all of that talent and all of that strength to be structured. You have to structure it. Because right when you structure it, that's when you can build content around it. When you start to build content around what you've done and how you've done it to then help people do the same thing that you did, is when you will start to see cash flow and you'll start to educate, right? So again, first thing is agitate your target audience. I always push aggression to you because usually you are a weak male and you don't even realize it. You have all this potential and you do not allow, you're not really fulfilling it. You're weak because you understand that you have potential. So my first duty is to agitate your current state of being. How could you get somebody to get out of slumber to get to where they want to go if they're still sleeping? Wake them up, especially if you're awake yourself. I've built a 7-figure agency, content agency. I know exactly what the fuck I'm doing, right? So the first thing I have to do is see you where you are. I understand that client journey because I've been there. I worked a 9-to-5. Hell, I worked one of the labor ones. The ones where you putting up fucking Coke, you on your knees all day, pause, all fucking day, putting up Coke bottles on the shelf, pulling pallets in a grocery store, non-stop, 12-hour shifts. Fucked up. I get it. To then come home, take a shower, eat, go to the gym, and then come back and work from 9 to 1 in the morning. To then get up at 4:30 to get to work for 6. That's 2 hours away from where you live. I understand, bro. Therefore, I have to agitate you out of that place that I was in, right? So figure out where the agitation points are and press them on the audience that you're trying to get to, right? Once you wake up and there's a doorway, give them the fucking education. You see what I'm saying? I gave you structure first. I told you phase 1 was all about structure because before I got into the real cash flow that I was looking for, I had no structure, right? And I had to figure it out myself. Then I figured it out. So now all I'm doing is pushing content to educate you once you're agitated. Now we're on to cash flow, which then will convert not only for myself, but for you. Because now you're having a full system to build a structure and systemize it so that you can cash flow correctly. So the first thing you want to do with your content is agitate people. Fuck them up. Because where they currently at is not where they need to be. Then you educate them once they start to wake up, and then they will convert into whatever thing into that value gap, right? Because once you figure out that you are the value that they need to get to where they want to go, they're going to pay you handsomely for it. That's exactly how the fucking market works. And lastly, I think this is one of the most important parts of the fucking video. You don't need more information. You need alignment and execution. Start with the playbook or you'll stay broke with skills no one pays for. The link is in the description below. This right here is the most important part of the video. So if you made it this far, make it until the end and subscribe and like, because you're clearly getting something out of this, right? So here you are with all this energy. This is you right here, all this fucking energy, right? And you think that comes from journaling, meditation, staying still, namaste, walking in nature, doing whatever, all of that good shit. Yes, great. But you haven't understood that you need to move, which is putting structure to your strengths to then create an overarching offer to then create sales. But sales, you have to understand, is not a byproduct of your energy. Sales is a byproduct of the structure that you put your offer in. That's it. You think, oh, namaste and all this big energy is going to bring you sales. And then you wonder why your calendar is empty every single week. Because you just have all this energy and you haven't moved. Again, like I will tell you all the time, the spiritual and the physical realm mimic each other, right? But the spiritual realm has no way to give you the abundance that you've built up through all this fucking energy if you don't move in the material world. You're looking for material, right? Money's material, right? Okay, cool. So you have to move in the material world to get the access of the spiritual abundance that you've already just built up. So therefore, the sales could never be a fucking byproduct of energy. It has to be a byproduct of the structure that you push forward towards people. And I just gave you the whole system. So if you take this entire way of living and work it in your life, step by step by step by step by step, you will find sales to come in. Because you're working not only to find your structure or not only to find your talents, but to then weaponize your talents and your skills by putting structure to it, then finding an offer and then packaging your offer correctly to then present it to people within your market that you see a value gap in, that they will then pay you for, and you will continue to get the byproducts, which are the sales and the cash flow, because you followed a rubric onto how to get the things that you have in your mind and the things that you meditate on and the things you stay still and journal into the material world by moving through law with a structure in systems. And so your closing decree: may every man watching this either structure his gift or suffer in silence. No more pretending your talent is enough. Learn the system, post with power, sell with structure, or die with skills no one remembers. Consider yourself warned.